Welcome learners to Operating System Lecture Session 4. The objective of this lecture session is to help learners know about process synchronization and its significance. We'll start with understanding few basics related to multiprocessing environment. Process is categorized into two types on the basis of synchronization, and they are independent process, cooperative process. Two processes are said to be independent if the execution of one process does not affect the execution of another process. I am re-insisting the statement. Two processes are said to be independent if the execution of one process does not affect the execution of another process. Now let us see the characteristics of independent process. Between independent processes, there will not be any sharing of resources. Each of the process, they will be having an exclusive access to the resources and they will be doing the task. And when we examine the outcome of the processes, it is deterministic in nature. That is, the outcome is predictable. And each process can be proceeding at an arbitrary rate. Means every process will have their own speed in execution. So these are all the characteristics of the independent process. No sharing of resources, outcome is deterministic, and they will be having their own speed of operation. Now moving on to cooperative process. Two processes are said to be cooperative if the execution of one process affects the execution of another process. And these processes need to be synchronized so that the order of execution can be guaranteed. So I repeat, two processes are said to be cooperative if the execution of one process affects the execution of another process. Moving on to the characteristics of the cooperative process. Cooperative processes, they will be sharing the resources and the outcome is non-deterministic. We cannot predict. And it is also hard to reproduce and subject to race condition. We'll see about race condition in the subsequent part of this session. Process execution approaches can be either concurrent or parallel. A system is said to be concurrent if it can support two or more actions in progress at the same time. A system is said to be parallel if it can support two or more actions executing simultaneously. Repeating the statements, a system is said to be concurrent if it can support two or more actions in progress at the same time. When we just examine this particular figure here, we have an illustration for a concurrent operation wherein we have a single core machine and there are two tasks which are operating now. And these two tasks, task 1 and task 2, are being handled by the core machine at a given point of time. Now the system is supporting the operation of both task 1 as well as task 2. Let us see how it operates. Task 1, it is doing its process, it is partially done, and at that particular point a context switch is happening, and now the context is getting moved to task 2 for its operation. Now task 2, it is doing its work and it is partially completing its job. At that particular moment, now the switch happens. So context switch happens to the task 1 again. Task 1 is proceeding and it is doing its task, it is completing its task. And after a while, the context is switching back to task 2 and task 2 is also completing. So moving on to the definition of concurrent process, we can understand from this that a system is said to be concurrent if it can support two or more actions in progress at the same time. So as per definition of concurrent operation, task 1 and task 2, both of them, they are being supported at a given point of time. Moving on to parallel operations. See, here we have two core machines. Now each of the core machine is dealing task 1 and task 2 respectively. So task 1 is handled by core 1 machine, task 2 is being operated by core 2 machine. Now both the tasks are being handled at a simultaneous operation, and that is why it is known as a parallel operation. A system is said to be parallel if it can support two or more actions executing simultaneously. Now we'll move on to what exactly a process synchronization is. In a multiprocessing environment, multiple cooperative processes work parallelly, accessing a shared resource. We can examine from this particular picture that process 1, process 2 and process 3, all three are executing a common resource, and this particular resource becomes a shared resource now. All three processes are trying to access a one particular resource. Let us understand the situation with a simple example. As seen in the left bottom of the diagram, process A and process B are accessing the same data. It can be a single file. Now A is performing a write operation on the data. That is, it is updating the contents of the file. At the same time, B is trying to read the data. What will happen? The consistency of the data will be lost. So A is trying to update the file at that particular moment. If B is trying to read that particular file, now the data, there will be a mismatch in the content of the data. So consistency of the data will be lost. Hence, in a multiprocessing environment, cooperative processes establishes a synchronization among them in accessing the resources. Process synchronization is a task of coordinating the execution of processes in such a way that no two processes can have access to the same shared data and resources. It is a procedure that is involved in order to preserve the appropriate order of execution of cooperative processes. In order to synchronize the processes, there are various synchronization mechanisms. To re-insist what we have discussed so far, process synchronization is mainly needed in a multiprocess system when multiple processes are running together and more than one process trying to gain access to the same shared resource or any data at the same time. Let us now understand how synchronization is established with a simple illustration. As seen in the right portion of the screen, we have a process P, and now P process is in need of a resource. Now it is checking for the status of that particular resource. The resource which is required by process B is a shared resource, and hence process B is checking the status of the shared resource. Now it is checking if the shared resource is left free, means no other process is trying to access that particular data at that particular moment. If the resource is available, now the status will be set as free. In that case, now process P is acquiring the shared resource, and then process B, it is gaining the access to that resource, and now it is doing its task. Process B, upon completing its task, what it does is it is going to release the shared resource, and after finishing its operation, the shared resource is getting released, and hence it is available for the other processes to gain access over it. So from this, we can understand that whenever a process is trying to access a shared resource, it has to check for the status. If the status is left free, in that case, the process is going to gain access to that resource. In case that particular resource is not available, process has to wait for some time until the resource is available for usage. So this kind of agreement between two or more processes in gaining access to the shared resource is known as synchronization. Now we'll understand what a race condition is. The value of count variable here is given as 5. Both process 1 as well as process 2 are sharing this particular variable. So process 1 is also utilizing the value of variable count, as well as process 2 is also using that. Now you can see from this particular coding part that process 1, it is incrementing the value of the count variable, and process 2, it is decrementing the value of the count variable. At the same time, when more than one process is either executing the same code or accessing the same memory or a shared variable here. Now what is happening? In that condition, there is a possibility that the output or the value of the shared variable is wrong. So for that purpose, all processes are doing a race, and they will claim that my output is correct. And this condition is commonly known as a race condition. As per the illustration here, process 1 will claim that the value of the count variable is 6, but process 2 will claim that the value of the count variable is 4. Each process will claim that their own variable is the correct value for that particular variable, and such a kind of condition is known as a race condition in process. Let us see another illustration. As several processes access and the processes the manipulation on the same data in a concurrent manner, and due to which the outcome depends on a particular order in which the access of the data take place. Mainly, this condition is a situation that may occur inside the critical section. Now we will see another example here. Process 1 and process 2, both of them are running concurrently now. Now process 1, it is reading the value of the variable v and the value of the variable v is read as 3. Now this value is being read by the process 1 from this particular database. So now value of the variable v is 3 now. Now it is storing that value back as 3. At that particular moment, the operating system is preempting the process 1. So process 1 is now added on to the queue. So it has to wait until the operating system is gaining permission for this particular process 1. Now at the same time, what happens is process 2 is given the operation state. Now this particular process 2, it is again checking for the value of variable v. Value of variable v is 3. Now process 2, it is incrementing the value of the variable. Now value of the variable becomes 4. Now it is storing the value of the variable v as 4 in the database. At the same moment, before the value is getting stored, the operating system, it is resuming the operation of process 1. Now process 1, it is incrementing the value, but it is incrementing the older value. Now process 1 is ignorant of the new value from P2. It is therefore overwriting the result of P2. So there is a mismatch in the value of the variable v, and this again is an illustration of a race condition. Now let us see what a critical section problem is. A critical section is a code segment that shared variables has, and it has to be executed as an atomic action. It means that in a group of cooperative processes, at a given point of time, only one process must be executing in its critical section. So say for example, if process 1, it is entering into the critical section, process 2 will not be allowed to enter into the critical section. So at a given point of time, only one process will be in its critical section, so that you are going to avoid a problem of synchronization here. If any other process also want to execute its critical section, it must wait until the first one finishes. So the entry to the critical section is mainly handled by wait function, while the execution of critical section is controlled by the signal function. So when a process is entering into a critical section, so there will be a lock. So that particular lock will hold the required resources so that no other process can gain access to the locked resources. Now this becomes a solution to the critical section problem. So from this session, the learners would understand the process synchronization essentials and what a race condition is and what a critical section problem is. Thank you. Happy learning.